Okay guys, that time of day again. Welcome. How are we all doing this fine day, fine morning, evening, wherever you are? Get the show on the road, guys. As always, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, no matter where you are around the world. I hope you're all doing well, guys. If you could, make sure to smash that like button if you're not already done so. Let's see what we've got moving forward today in the news. Obviously it's a massive week. We had ADP yesterday. We had the Fed Chair Mr. Jerome Powell. I'm not too sure, I haven't caught up to date with what came out of that. Moving forward today, we do have unemployment claims to come for the US dollar. That is 30 minutes into MI session, so for those of you who do trade MI, something you need to be very wary of. We also have some construction PMI, which would likely have an impact on the pound for the pound, so for England. So we'll see how we go with that. If I won't be on stream for that, but that will likely impact the chart, so you need to also keep a bit of an eye on that as well, guys, if you are trading a little bit later on after the stream. But anyway, guys, you guys know the deal. Make sure to once again hit that like button. If you have questions, any charts, feel free to send those into the chat and I will get underway as I always do, starting with GJ to begin with. And looking at the weekly time frame, and what we can see on the weekly time frame is we're kind of tossing. It's a bit of an arm wrestle at the moment between the bulls and the bears. We keep flipping back bullish, back bearish. What we do have, however, is that lower high, lower low, but we're also still hovering above a support here to the left hand side. So as long as we remain above it, I feel there's a good chance that we may eventually come back up to retest the high. And if you do have the volume momentum, which may possibly have, considering we may have grabbed some liquidity from the downside below that 190 flat region, then we could make another push back up. Looking at on the daily time frame, we know it was technically bearish. I mentioned in an update video to the members, look at that, guys. I always say entries, signals, they translate across any time frame. What do we have just there, guys? We had a pause, we had an engulfing candle. Had you set a sell limit order, it wouldn't have been triggered in until probably just now, or yesterday, but it would have been very minimal drawdown and you'd be safely probably being about 100 pip profit at the moment. So good to see it play out in the higher time frame nonetheless. But what we are is technically, structure wise, we are bearish. Previous daily to close bullish above it. It looks like if we begin to break above that previous daily candles high, which is pretty much smack bang the current daily candles high, looks like we may have some clean traffic up towards that 192.50 sort of region. So technically bearish, but hovering around some support here to the left hand side, pulling back a bit further within the current day's candle. See what sort of levels we've got in the 4 hour and M30. So the 4 hour structure on that time frame, shit, let me turn out the music, apologies guys. Structure on the 4 hour time frame has actually flipped bullish. We've closed above this swing point here, so therefore we're now actually bullish in the 4 hour. But what we are doing is we're obviously rejecting and back below this previous resistance to the left to potentially pull back to create that higher low before we head back up. So we are technically bullish in structure on the 4 hour. We know we're bearish on the daily, with that previous daily closing a strong bullish candle. So maybe we're just pulling back now to create that high low within the 4 hour structure, form a support to head back up. That is one possibility. As far as support, we've just broken a support just here on the 4 hour. Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame. I'm just going to delete that for the time being. All right, what I can see on the 30-minute, we are technically bullish, and at this rate we will remain bullish really until this support here below that 189.40. so we've got a long way to go. We are currently tapping into this wick, which is a level of liquidity, so this is an area of support on GJ just now. Just going to mark in that level though, the closest bodies to the lowest point. And what we can see is we're technically bullish on the 30, so the overall bias is still technically to the downside. It's technically neutral with the 30-minute and the 4 hour being bullish. So therefore I can really look for options in either direction. Now, seeing we are closer to the range low, so obviously if you were to divide the range into thirds, the optimal level to look for the buys within the range is from support. That is when you're paying a discounted rate to get involved in a buy option. So for me, if we come back down to this support, if we do create that pullback towards that 192.50, form a support back above it, at that point I would definitely be considering looking for my signal within price action for a buy above this support. We still remain bullish in structure. Below this level though, as we can see to the left, still going to be bullish in structure, but what we are doing is we're rejecting our resistance to the upside. Just needing that up. Plus we would be creating a series of low highs, low lows upon rejecting the 4-hour resistance. So if we were to pop back down to this support, preferably bounce off it only to reject and close below it, we do have clean traffic to potentially retest the last significant high low on the 30-minute time frame and take it all the way back down towards that 189.40. So for me, I'd be definitely interested in selling it below the support. Once again, the daily is forming quite a strong bearish candle for the time being, but I would, however, prefer to see it pull back within its candle. So we may also get some options. Seeing we're making a clean move down just now, guys, if we were to pull back and retest this zone that we've just broken out of, we may have the margin to look for the sells. That could be the a level that we may tap into. We've not, obviously, since breaking that support, we've not yet done so. So within the range, so long as I've got the margin, I've got the right signal within price action, I would not be opposed to selling it below that 196.80. And if we were to come up and form a resistance at it, only to pop back above, then I'd also consider the buy options back above at previous support there at 190.75. So the quarter number, I'd be interested. Again, so long as it ticks the box, I want to see it retest this zone, reject it, pop back up, form a resistance, break the resistance, close above the resistance, and that is when I trust the buys. So that is GJ for the time being. Hopefully that did make sense. If it did, make sure to hit that like button. Guys, don't be shy, do say g'day in the chat. I'll get to you guys shortly. All right, moving on to the gold. Still evidently stuck in this 4-hour and daily mess. However, looking at on the weekly, just a shallow candle at the moment, not much volume within it. With obviously an inside bar candle forming bearish, but we could still definitely flip bullish. Let's just mark in the high of the current candle. So we formed a significant lower wick. Perhaps we'll just grab some more liquidity from the downside. Onto the daily, and it is an absolute mess on the daily. Just pure consolidation. Yes, we've had consecutive bullish candles, but we're still below this resistance, which is making it very difficult to look for trades at the moment. Structure wise, we actually do remain bearish. That is the low, that is the origin at this point here. That's the 2 consecutive candle pullbacks. So at this rate, until we close above 27.50, structure wise, we do remain bearish on the daily. Now the 4-hour, there we go, just an absolute mess, just a pigsty at the moment. Pure consolidation, pure trash, which makes it very difficult. But what we're going to do is mark in that level of support. Below it, it looks like may have some clean traffic. As far as resistance, I'll go down to the 30-minute time frame. We could potentially be looking for the option still above that previous daily candles high, previous week, sorry, the current weekly candles high, which lines up, I think, with that previous daily. So we just drag this across. All right, so to the upside. I'm gonna do that. It's the highest point of any bearish candle. Let's just go on a 15-minute though. We may need to adjust this. All right, I'm gonna adjust it to that point there. All right, so that's gonna be my zone to the upside. It's the highest point of any bearish candle on either the 30 or the 15 to the upside. So what I'm going to be looking for is above that level, closure above will likely come out to 26, 61, 62 sort of region. So we should have the margin. Likely we'll have the margin, just depends on if we get the option. If it does give us the option of the closure above that type of scenario retest, then we can look for the potential buys on gold. So buys above the resistance. Now, obviously, if we do pull back yet again, only to reject, saying we've rejected this level multiple times. It is a stubborn level. It's just the highest of that 4-hour mess. And I'd definitely be interested in selling it as long as I got the right trigger once again, the right signals and then price action, and just trading a range at the moment, guys. But what we can see is we've got a range within the range. So halfway within the range, we form support. So I'm going to mark this level in just now. What we can see below it to the left hand side here, we've got some very clean traffic. Seeing we are rejecting that 4-hour resistance constantly, if we were to start closing below this 30-minute support with the clean traffic to the left, there's a high probability that we could come back down to retest the 4-hour support at the lows around at 26.37 sort of region. So for me, be looking for potential sells below this support. Within the daily, we'll be creating a low low as well, but we want that confirmation. Thing with just at the moment, we'll just create that higher high. For me, I really want to see that confirmation of the closure below, retest, and look for the continuation. That would give me a confidence to trade it. Also, what I'm seeing just now is, guys, the recent bounce off this level halfway within this range at support here. It's a nice clean move up. We've created a nice clean move back down, straight back down. So if we were to form a price action catalyst on within this 30-minute candle, so by the end of this 30-minute candle, there could be options for potential buys. If this candle closes bearish, as long as the next 15-minute candle closes bullish, and then back we'll go down to the 15. And if it closes bullish engulfing, for instance, that will give me a signal to look for a potential buy. So there could be options possibly in the next 30 minutes, guys. We have to keep a bit of an eye on it. Yeah, so that's currently what I am looking at on both gold and GJ. So gold looking a little bit better to me. You guys know I prefer to trade gold either way. And obviously buys from the support, if it does pop back down, would not be opposed to that as well, guys. Need to wait for that if and when it does eventuate. So pretty simple. Once again, the analysis is always the easiest part, guys. Just having the patience and discipline to sit and wait for your plan to play out is the toughest part. But if you can do so, you're likely going to get the end of a decent entry and a decent trade. So good result. So that's it. Let's see. And in the meantime, good morning, Franco Beats. Let's crack the code again today. It'd be really good if we do. It's been a great week. Really good week on stream, away from stream. Everything's been really good so far. So next, I'm going to you. Smash the like button. Yep, appreciate it, Beats. Carl, morning to you, mate. Yoshi, good to see you on the stream again. Franco, yep, just answering back. Beats, all good. Alrighty, guys. So, anyone currently in any trades? Beats, you are spot on with that. Definitely is the key. Patience is always the key in this game. Those who have the patience generally going to be on the right, the probabilities are they're going to be on the right side of things. Members, the link has been sent. Yeah, patience is definitely key. All right, so the other thing we could look for is if this 15 closed strong bullish and then we had a little bit of a pause on the following 15, still going to close the M30 back a strong bullish candle. So let's just draw it in. This 15 may close looking like so, for instance, followed by maybe something like so. Weak bearish pause on the second 15. What that will do is close the M30 looking like this, bouncing off the support, a spinning candle, whatever, a pin bar, whatever you call it. And if we were to begin to break that candle's high, that could be the potential entry point. So we could have options, guys. And once again, I draw it out because the more you see me do it, the more you hear me say these things, the more you're going to pick up on it. I do this shit daily. And I know some of you have taken advantage of it and are doing well, hunting and, you know, fishing for yourself. But that's the key, guys. Just turning up to these streams on the daily and then you'll really start to pick up on the signals and that type of thing. Lau, good morning to you, mate. Guys, let's hit that like button. Only 12 likes, so let's get it up there. So look at this, Bitcoin finally broke the 100k. So congratulations to anyone who's holding Bitcoin right now. I'm personally not, but yeah, I mean, to me this could continue. There's no blow off top, and that's usually what suggests maybe the end of the run when it comes to crypto. This is not a blow off top. The blow off top is when it literally does something like this. It just, you see it start to absolutely fly like this, and then it pulled, like, so that's at this point that's the upper wick. We'll draw it in, and then she tumbles within the same candle. It just dies. That should be bearish, but it just dies like quickly within the same maybe hour candle or 30-minute candle, just literally up and then straight back down. This is just price action. This is just structure. This is just, yeah, market bias, moving, pushing still to the upside, trading high lows, high highs. I mean, where could it go? Who knows? But I feel it's still not finished. I think there's still room for it to continue up for those who are interested in crypto. Just remove that for the time being. Sketchmas, good morning to you, mate. Hope you're well. Base, I really feel the urge to trade sometimes, even when it's not wise, and that almost always costs me money. I think everyone experiences that. You want, but there is nothing. You have to wait. Patience. We've all experienced it. Like I've mentioned many times, that was my one issue was the lack of patience. I undo all my hard work, just this stupid trade because I felt justified to take a trade because I was sat here for 2-3 hours. So yes, it definitely something that, I mean, sometimes the more you sit in the charts, more likely you are to maybe give in and make an error and just, you know, take a trade because you're bored or you feel a need to. But you get to that point where you have the discipline and you can trust yourself. You can sit there all day and still trust yourself to only take quality and not quantity. All right, I might let the TikTokers in. Scorching day here in Melbourne. Oof. 34 degrees. One thing you'll also find, guys, this is something I used to use a little bit when I used to trade, well, I still trade crypto, I've picked it up again, but when I used to trade it more, where is the angle tool? Let me find it. I can't remember where it is. I haven't used it for a while. It's not a fib. No, I can't remember where it is. Maybe it's something on the crypto exchanges. But essentially what it is, you measure the angle of the impulse, and if it's a narrow impulse, so if it's greater than, you know, about 45 degrees, the higher the better, then generally it means you're going to make a nice clean rejection of that level, and that's what it's done. Like, it's quite evident. So it's kind of like when you get these V-shaped sort of bounces, we have a nice clean impulse up, rejection, comes straight back down. And that's what I'm kind of seeing on gold right now. And that's what I mean when I say sometimes we're best just to wait and let the price action open up the range again if it's been stuck within consolidation, like we have just done prior to the stream, and made the clean move back down. So that then makes it more probable, in my opinion, for price to make another clean move back up. So just an interesting thing to keep an eye on, the angle of the bounce off the support or resistance. Holy, it's way here. I think it's a bit of projection. No, it's not that. Looks something like that, but it's not actually that. Anyway, if you guys can find it, have a look into it. Maybe just something you can add to your trading, bit of added confidence. Daz and Bomba, good day to you. Joe, Mr. GJ analysis, would GJ buys be in the cards, or is there too much resistance to the left? GJ, yeah, buys are on the cards. What I'd rather see though at this area is I'd really prefer for it to reject, form another resistance below, and then buy it once we pop back above. So something like so. So right now we're just retesting. We could just make the move straight back up to the resistance here that we initially come from, the origin moves around that 191 flat to 191.15, and we could look for a sell from higher up. There's just nothing wrong with trading the trend within a daily candle, which is currently bearish if you were to look at it, the micro trend. I know the structure itself is bullish, but if you to look at the daily candle itself, you can see that's forming bearish. Within it, that's a recent level of resistance that we have formed, most recent. So if we did pull up and reject it, I'd be not opposed to selling it. As for the buys, I look at it just now and think, well, if I was to go and get in a buy without my signal playing out first, which is forming that resistance at this support to the left hand side, I should have just bought it at that point. So I'd be looking at it, you know, thinking I've got in after the fact, if that makes sense. So seeing I didn't trust it there and I was not interested in buying it, I need to wait for my price action signal, and that would not just be a closure above, that would be 15-minute pause, if nothing else, some bearish candle minimum on the M15, and if we've begun to pop above it and close above it, that's when I start to consider the buys above 197.50. TikTok rigs in. Wah Elp 3 enemy. Welcome guys. Go, makes sense. Nice one. Gold looking good. All right, how'd the 15 close? Good, perfect. First tick. Now the second tick will be that weak pause here on the 15, and then we could have options potentially on the next M30 candle. First part of it is tick the box. It's a nice closure. That's exactly what we wanted. Daily affirmation, good day to you. Adrian, Donovan, Colum, Jose, oh, yeah, it's Jose. Dane so fresky. Welcome everyone. El Chapo, John. Guys, I'm streaming live on YouTube at the moment. You can get the full screen on YouTube. Alright, so gold's flipping now, that's fine. There's no entry for me. For me to consider it off the 15, I needed discounts on golf that previous. So I just don't have a personal signal that I trade based on in price action right now. That's all good. Just need to patiently wait. Azrael, good day to you. Ina, like 38. Davi, J Lopa, thank you for following, my friend. Beats, why do I never trade the NQ? Do you have bad experience? It's talking about NASDAQ. That's the NASDAQ minis, NQ, if I'm not mistaken. I just don't trade it, to be honest, because I feel it's a better indice to trade during the NY session. Doesn't mean it doesn't move during London, but I trust it more during the NY session personally. I do analyze it for the VIP because I know some trade it. I've traded it once and it was a win. So stopping 100% win rate on NAS. It's not even silver. Silver traded once and it was a win. I'm not opposed to trading it. I'm just not in the charts enough to trade it at the time. I feel it's better to trade it, and that is probably at least half an hour into NY Open. You got the volume filtered through from the actual open itself, but then you got the NYSE opening, and now after the first half, so an hour and a half after the currency exchange open, you got ComSec opening, I think 20 minutes into the session. So just never really been on the charts that much around that time of day to trade it. Steve, good day to you, mate. All right, GJ closed like this, then we could have options. Wanted to close weak bearish, but basically at that, pretty much where it's at. And gold is Gonski, so making a move back up, that's fine. Jellyfish, good morning to you. I wish you a profitable day. Let's just for constant success. Thank you, and to you too, my friend. Joe, were you tempted to buy a 50-minute candle? How come sometimes you trade? If I've got the signal, that unfortunately wasn't a signal. So yes, it's a bullish candle. Yes, it's left a long wick to the downside. But I would have preferred for it to close engulfing or to have had a little pause prior to any entry. But yeah, I do otherwise trade it off the 15. But again, it technically wasn't a signal of mine. So instead of just jumping in, I have to patiently wait. And the 15 is something I'm going to test out more during the holidays break. But try to use the 5-minute as the confluence for the entry. Go down the time frames, you're obviously going to go down to another time frame below that to add confluence to any entry, and that will probably be the 5-minute. Even then, I don't think you really have much of a confirmation here on the 5. And you got that V shape again, and it's doing what I just mentioned before, guys. Didn't I just say it before? It's likely going to make a nice clean move up. But I still need a signal. I can't trade what I think, because it doesn't have to. It can do whatever it wants. So I still need to wait for my signal that I know is, something that's going to work 8 times out of 10. In this case, unfortunately, I just didn't get it. Abdul, good day to you. All good, mate. Why have you marked resistance GJ where price is right now? We have clean candles. It's because it's we've now retested what was the previous support. So I keep it in. I had that marked in actually prior to the stream when I sent in the analysis into the VIP chat for you guys, to the chart markup section, analysis section. Is why I keep that in, because we've broken it, and I would keep it in until we retest it. If we retest it and form a resistance at it, then I know this is a level of significance and the options to sell it. If we were to burst straight through it and continue bullish just now, then I delete that zone because it's no longer relevant, and then I would add the zone in back at the highs here, which I'll eventually do either way if we do end up heading back up. So until we've retested it and either burst straight through it or reject it, that's when I decide if I need to adjust or remove the zone. So GJ is looking promising, guys. Still gotta wait 7 minutes. Beats? Yeah, sure. NASDAQ or... It's the same thing, isn't it? Basically. I'll just analyze NASDAQ. It's in a massive uptrend, so I wouldn't be bucking the trend, put it this way. Trend is your friend until the end, and there is nothing yet to suggest that it's over. But looking at nonetheless on the weekly, so I see it forming obviously a very strong bullish candle. We've just once again created another all-time high. I think I heard the other day is something like more than 70 times this year it's created new all-time highs. So within this weekly candle, I'm asking myself, where have we previously formed levels of support or resistance that we have broken out of? Because those levels, if we were to continue bullish, if we were to pull back, we should form support and head back up, retest the high, potentially create a higher high, and continue to the upside. What I can see in the daily is forming a very, well, structure-wise bullish, and the previous candle was a very strong bullish candle. I'm marking the 50% just to see if it does actually line up with any previous levels on probably more so the 30-minute, that will on the flyer. And I want to see the buys step in. If we did pull back to that level, defend that level, form support above that level. It doesn't have to be right at that level, could be higher up. And then look for a potential buy. If we were to begin to pop below it and form a resistance below it in the minor time frames, then that could suggest the potential for a deeper pullback. Onto the flyer, doesn't line up with really anything there. Obviously, it's very bullish in structure. Got the highs you can mark in. Nothing I can really mark in as far as support. For the time being, it's way off. I won't bother with it. So we can see the 15% of that previous daily candle above it. We've just got a support. and below it we've got another support. So I would say that is a pretty key level. The swing point where the structure itself would actually flip back bearish on NASDAQ, which could be a first potential confirmation to take some sell entries, is just here, a closure below. I would not be selling it though below it because it runs straight into more support. However, what you could do is, once you got that confirmation of the closure below, flipping the structure bearish, could wait for the pullback, lower high, and then it could come back down to create that lower low. So otherwise what I'd be looking at, as tempting as it might be to sell it, it's now at support and potentially breaking it. It's still above it though. I will just patiently wait for it to come back down towards that 21,430 region, form a support above it, and wait for my price action catalyst from that level for the buy. It's in a big uptrend, so that's what I prefer to do. Just trade it with the trend, wait for the pullback, or wait for closures above this bearish candle here, and then we're likely going to retest the high. There's a good chance we will push to create another all-time high. Now the other option could be is if we do actually create an impulse up, and you might be in a buy or you may not be, what we will then do is we will flip the swing point as to where structure will flip to this support here, and then you could look for the sells from a little bit higher up once you got that confirmation of the structure flipping back bearish. So as far as sells, I'd need some sort of catalyst, and that's waiting for the 30 minutes flip bearish. Otherwise I'd just be waiting for patiently a pullback to buy it, or closures above 2150 basically. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, GJ, what are you doing, my friend? All right, skull rejecting. Yoshi, all good, brother, all good. Yep, training your friend, also important to remember. It most definitely is, my friend. Jellyfish, you did long 26.47, close 9% now, and wait for improvement upwards. Nice one. Nice one. If you had your reason to buy it from that point, good work. Nice. It's nice. You're a Lunar Classic. Yeah, I'm focused more on the Forex and gold on this stream. Gold rejecting. All right, let's focus on GJ. Maybe we need to get ready, guys. Just keep a bit of an eye on it. This candle closes back bearish. May set a buy stop above the high, but if it doesn't, I'm just gonna leave it. Stop loss could be below the 15. What would that be? That would be about 17 pips, but the issue is it looks like it could continue bullish for the time being, so likely not going to be an option for now, guys. I'm just going to need to patiently wait. Reed 67, Freya, good day to you guys. Rick, gold trader, welcome. I trade gold. Beats, if the trend is strongly bullish, then you only look at where you can long and vice versa. Yeah, pretty much. So if the trend is overwhelmingly bullish, then I'm looking for areas to pull back to buy it, or continuation, like what obviously the highs, creating higher highs, that type of thing. High lows, high highs. So you could be buying it from the high low and then potentially the higher high. Alright, so nothing on gold. GJ's closed bullish. I can see my MetaTrader So there's nothing for me on GJ either for the time being. But it's all good. We chill, we wait. And something might eventually present. Fred and Sia, good day to you. I think Mr. Rick is busy working today. We actually saw his Spirit collection. Kyle, mate, you'd be very impressed. On yesterday's MY call for the members. Oh, I was very impressed. He had a wide collection of different bottles, so couldn't really see properly what it was, but I'm assuming a lot of it was whiskey. Game Center Insta, yeah. He cracked open a beer, but it was a 0, so. Pretty un-Australian of me not to open a beer with him. And I don't have any at the moment. Wonder he's always drinking each win. Got a big collection, that's for sure. Alright, so we're at a level on GJ where we could really get an option to either way. We just need to wait for the right confirmation. We start popping back below this previous support, and perhaps we just grab a little bit more liquidity from higher up in the range above, and we could come back down at around after the session open and retest the current daily candles lows. Remember, within the current daily itself, we are forming a bearish candle, so could just be looking for pullbacks within the candle itself, create another resistance, head back down. Abdul, JJ closed bullish golfing M30 above the resistance. Why we can't take it? Because you can take it, mate, but I look at it and think I didn't trust it here. I mentioned it before, and that you're getting in after the fact, if you know what I mean, without its resetting. So I would have been comfortable if it reset, but it had not reset. Yes, it's bullish engulfing, but it's already pushed 36 pips. I should have, if I trusted the buys, if I was looking for the buy, I should have just bought at that point. So I need to let it reset and give me another signal in price action. So for me, that signal was closing above, closing this candle week bearish, and that might have paused. Then I look to buy it on continuation on this current candle, but it hasn't done that. So I need to now just patiently wait for its reset. And I still could get the sell option as well. This 15 closed strong bearish. I'd be waiting for a weak pause, because I know in this instance, my signal, the bearish engulfing, as good as the signal it is, it's going to make no sense to look for an entry based off that, because stop loss is going to be huge. Your margin's not going to be great. So I can plan to, you know, what else I want to see. And what I mentioned before, strong bearish 15 followed by weak bullish. That could be enough for us to look for a sell. MC84, welcome to you. Shilling your crypto memes again, all good. Never heard of it, to be honest, Spiro. Tell you what, some of these pump and dump crypto meme groups are quite tempting. Just have no idea how they work, to be honest. I'd probably be the one left holding the bag. I think the thing with a lot of those groups is they rely on the liquidity from, you know, the retail traders like myself and, you know, you guys. And they'll tell you when to sell or buy or whatever. And they'll do the opposite just seconds prior to, or right at the same time, and they're the ones that profit. You're the ones that provide liquidity for them to actually get out of their position. So that's my theory, and that's my concern. So that's why personally I would not get involved in any of these pump and dump groups. There'll be a time when I'll do probably a crypto stream, or I'll do a video on how I trade crypto and upload to YouTube. It's not the same. I mean, some of it is. If I'm looking for quick in and out trades, and it's very similar, just using maybe a few other tools. But otherwise I swing trade it, so it's very different to the way I trade Forex. Alright, gold a little bit indecisive. Jellyfish, gold wants to skyrocket. It looks like it's trying to. Mighty Stud Productions, good day to you. Welcome again. Android Cosplay, Aura, Dean, Nemo. Good day, guys. Feel free to ask questions. If you'd like me to analyze any particular pair, happy to do so. And don't forget to give me a follow as well. Jumbo Musang King, welcome guys. Mikhail. It doesn't appear that we're gonna have the margin, so once again I'm probably gonna need to let it set up again, which might mean waiting for once again a little pause on the 15 for potential options on gold. The GJ is still could present again. Potentially the first tick could be playing out. GJ, I do not trade purely off the 15. I do not trust it. Michael, good day to you, mate. How's things? Start watching loads of different pairs. I relied on gold too much, and if didn't see a trade for a while, I forced trade. So I look at my setups like 7 pairs. No, that's all right. Again, look, it's whatever you guys can make work for you. For me, focusing on 1 or 2 pairs is what works for me. But I mean, if you want to, because maybe you're not getting enough options, have 6 7 pairs that you're willing to watch, and likely one's going to present, and by all means there's nothing wrong with it, as long as you still got the discipline to not, you know, just jump into anything and focus on a quality setup. So currently gorgeous sells on AJ. Yeah, just sell the Aussie dollar and you're in the money. Yeah, I'm assuming it's in a pretty big downtrend. Yep. Nice one, mate. And once again, guys, I always say I appreciate you all being on stream, and I'm fully aware that not everyone trades the same way, but it's about the community, and if you can pick up a thing or two while you're here as well, then you know it's a win-win for everyone. So I respect the way we all trade, whether it be, you know, you're trading 5, 6, 7, 8 pairs, 10 pairs, whether you're trading fair value gaps and SMC and all that crap. Not crap, but sorry, it's just the way I refer to it. No, it's all good as long as you can make it work for you. But what works for me is basically, I could, like I always say, I can just do this and I could trade that without any issue whatsoever away from the stream. It's just good to have it there as a reference, the visuals of the levels, but I just see it. I know where we're at within the chart. KFC has to be a smart ass out there, doesn't it? Have not had KFC in God knows donkey's years. Long time. Does this look like a guy who eats KFC, mate? Smash the like button, that's it, beats. I love concepts. Okay, that's a good one actually. That's it. Well, that's what I do. A.C.T. It's analyze, confirm, trade. So I like it. A.C. Patience is key, guys, just trust me. Michael, you're doing good. Surprised I'm still trading. Been over a year since I first one-to-one. Nice one, brother. Good work. I'll always say to everyone, just stick with it. Easy option is to give up. The amount of times I've thought about it back when I first started, mate, I was so close many times. Frustrated, just thinking I'm just not going to go anywhere. I keep going one step forward, two step backwards. But yeah, it's just a matter of eventually you find your way, and you just got to trust the process and give it time. That's pretty much what I've done. MTPD, multiple trader disorder personality. Good one. The dictionary of Carl F. The Trader's Dictionary of Carl F. Market was a long process, has its ups and downs for sure. You just have to be resilient. It's most definitely true. It's the same with anything. It's just fact. It's the same with anything you can do. Easy option is to give up and just say it's too difficult. You can never make it work. But the fact of the matter is, it's just you need to have that will to want to you know, to want to win, basically, to achieve, and to have the commitment to continue. Gonna be days where you really can't be bothered, and sometimes if you've got a day like that and you're feeling really flat, then just chill, take a day off. Alright, so we got the 15 closure on GJ. Nice strong bearish candle. Have we got the margin below it though if this did close a pause candle? Potentially. It could be options for early entries. But definitely want to see a pause on this 15-minute candle when it's closed weak bullish. Then what we would have done is close the 30-minute candle strong bearish back below this previous level of resistance, which obviously we pop back above and then to potentially grab liquidity and head back down. So my level of entry would be below support, and if we create that minus support just now, these are where I could look for maybe a possible entry at London Open. But if we just drop and create the lower low, then so the previous candle is likely not going to be the margin for the trade, so I just need to wait. Gold now, just choppy price action at the moment, so nothing on the gold. We'll focus on the GJ, and it's not really what we want. Michael Mama didn't raise no quitter. I see dreaming won't stop until I get there. Stay, mate. Honestly, that's how my mum told me. She's the same herself, just 77 and still works pretty much every day of the week. Won't have it any other way. Never complains about being tired or sick or too hot, too cold, whatever. Never. So that's where I get my inspiration from, in all honesty. Next, took a small position on GJ. It's broke the previous M15 candle. You mean just here or up there? I hope you got involved up here because you're safely in profit. Leon by EU. Wow is bullish, daily and weekly is bearish, and the 30 is bullish. It's at resistance. For me, I'd be more focused on potential sells, but the issue is he's selling it back into consolidation. So the options for me on EU, it's much cleaner above 105.464. Otherwise, pull back to this 105.10 roughly, 105.0708. That point there, that's where you're actually not going to have the structure flipping. Sorry, that won't flip until below these lows, but there's clear traffic to the left of that. So closure below it, we'll pull back to it, form support, and look to buy it. Otherwise, closure below for potential sells. Take it back down towards 104.8 roughly. Taz, my input on XRP overextended. I think if you're not in it, you probably missed the move, to be honest. I will not be chasing it. Previous bullish low, nags, nice one. He's safely in profit. Still at 105.420 now. Yeah, up to the highs, yeah. But the issue is it just keeps it trickling up, so there's no real clean area to sell it from unless you're just trusting that it's going to hold, which is fine. You might want to take an entry once you get a bearish candle confirmation up there. As an early entry, just trying the range, I can understand that. But what I do is I'm a scalper, so I look for small movements in the market and I rely on clean areas within the range, or when price is breaking out into a new range, higher highs, higher lows, that type of thing. And on EU, I don't really have any clean areas until above the resistance. I don't trade it personally. I don't think it's the best currency pair to trade for a scalper, to be honest. My current plan is when I stop working and do this full time, stream. Stream anyways, but just play Xbox, so I have set up. Just always at work and only trade London session now. All good, mate. It's good to have aspirations, so. It was never my dream to stream. Kind of got forced into it a couple years back, to be honest, but actually don't mind it. So you have your days where you can't be bothered, to be honest, but it's all good. Like I said, some days you have those times, guys, where you just be bothered trading. When you get to that point, I actually think it's a good thing, because it means you're not going to let the charts dictate you, because a lot of people sit here 8 hours a day looking for trades, sometimes even longer. I knew someone who used to wake up, would just sleep like a couple hours in increments, so you'd be up for each major session open. For me, I can't do that. I think it's just, yeah. Then it becomes, look, you know, I don't know, you're a slave to the charts at that point. Mr. Platt, it's you. Michael, the thing is with trading one is it's lonely and boring. At least when you're stream, you can talk to people. Plus pass the time where you wait for a trade. Yeah, it is. It can be very boring trading if you're doing it by yourself. If you know, watching a stream or within a community or something, you can chill, chat to each other. I mean, that's what we do during the NY session. A lot of time we're just chilling. I do answer obviously technical questions and that when there are those questions to be asked, be answered. We do look at setups. Sometimes the guys trade, sometimes I trade. Yeah, Michael, it is. I mean, you're always going to get haters along the way. Some who you probably wouldn't even expect it to come from, to be honest. Pilovic, are you in buy? No, I'm not in nothing right now, to be honest. Just patiently waiting. Yeah, a lot of people want to see you fail. That's the thing I find very sad, to be honest, this industry. As much as I might poke shit at, you know, the dude who wears the mask and that, I don't wish anything bad upon him. You know, good luck to him. He's probably a really good trader, but it's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand, you know, how he can have such a massive amount of people on his stream compared to what I have, and I feel like dish out a heap of education each and every day. Just different traders, but doesn't mean I don't, you know, I've got no opinion on the bloke's probably a really cool bloke. For instance, any one of those traders, they're all probably cool blokes. I don't know them. Nick, what I think about Telegram groups, they're all mostly the same, but but give nice signals. Also, they all have invest and get return stuff in their groups. Yeah, just be very, very careful, because a lot of them are, you know, just after one thing, and that is your cash. things with signals, I mean, I've been there, I've called signals and we did pretty well, but the issue is, first of all, a lot of people won't be on the chart when you call it, especially when it's scalping. It's instant. Like sometimes the entry signal will come a minute before the entry. So unless the people are sat there on the charts, they're not going to get it. Sometimes there's a little delay in the message being sent as well. And that split second could mean, you know, missing out the entry or, you know, whatever. But yeah, I think it's up to you. I prefer to learn to fish for myself. And that's what I did. I did start with a group, a signal group. That was crypto. That was 8 years ago. But I've learned the best way was to actually learn for yourself, to be honest, how to trade. And it just depends. If you're using a signals to try to understand why they're taking an entry, the person calling it, then I can understand that. But the fact of the matter is, half the time I'll be calling a signal and you have no idea. Like that's how I used to look at it. I used to look at like, why is he calling a signal here? I don't understand. What's the confirmation? If I call a signal, it's the guys who know exactly what I'm looking at and why exactly. Michael, there's only a few that pull big numbers, really. Most don't. Not sure why that is. Yeah, it's all good. I'm working on that for next year. Got some plans, so should see the numbers steadily going up. You also do your own trades too. Well, look, there's nothing wrong with it, I suppose. Just make sure you're joining one that's, you know, reputable, that's got, you know, a good history of that they can show you of results. A lot of these crypto ones, especially when things are good in a bull run, it's quite easy to get your money back. Alright, it's GJ. 2 and a bit minutes left until session open. We'll be closing back a weak bullish candle. Now we don't have a great deal of margin back down to support. There is literally about 10 pips. Once you count spread, probably not even that. Not sure if they're... Look, it has to close weak bullish before I even consider it, to be honest. Gold, there is absolutely nothing at the moment. Is the low is 561 on IC market, so 545. 45. About 9 pips in that. See if this thing rejects.
Hey, good morning, man.
G'day, mate. How are you?
Thank you, I'm fine. How are you?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. Bit hot,
okay.
But otherwise surviving.
Surviving. Okay.
Yeah, it's a warm day here.
So I might looking for buys on GU on the close on the M50 candle.
Yeah, GU. Yeah. Yesterday's trade worked well.
Right now,
it's looking good.
We are coming to the weekly open.
Yeah.
We are at weekly open. So, and we are maybe flipping. So.
Yeah, I like it, mate. Sorry, just back to GJ quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
So once again, this trade looks like it's going to close a little bit too strong. Alright, so for me, there is no confirmation just yet, once again. Back to GU. Yeah, it looks good. That's a really strong closure. So I think there are valid entries on the break. Could possibly just be in. Very early though into the open candle, which is a little bit off-putting because my concern would be that it could pull back further to create more of a lower wick. But it is valid. I don't trade GU, but you are approaching, well, now at session open, you have a lot of volume. Obviously a very strong bullish candle in the previous.
Yeah, I'm in, Justin.
Nice one.
So it created a lower wick. This was enough for me to get in.
Yep.
And as I mentioned, so on my broker, on Wanda here, on Trading View, yeah, I have the flip of the 4 hour, flip of the weekly candle.
The weekly? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's looking really good. All right, quickly back to GJ. So let's see if we get a bullish engulfing.
Up to 4.5 pips.
Yep, nice one.
Fine, 5 pips, so I'm out.
Good work, mate. Well done. Nice early, nice start. So well done.
Absolutely.
Been a good week.
Absolutely, cracking.
Yeah, been a really good week personally as well. So see if we can get involved in some possible GJ entries soon. Michael, you'll have the same sort of value or share trades and give good advice. It might be due to the time you stream. A lot of bigger numbers are pulled during MY. Yeah, no, I can't stream MY. It's just way too late for me. Paul, took me a long time to find this channel. YouTube throws up worse Forex channels. You're the only Australian one I found. Yeah, I have no idea how the algorithm works, but once again, you're someone who's going to be working on it for me next year, so expect better things, bigger things. And the guy does trade himself, so I think it's good to have another trader because they sort of know the market to target in that. Yosh, GJ buys. Look, I may consider it if the 15 closed engulfing this resistance potentially, because then we've at least created a bit of a swing point. We've created the higher high to that previous little pause just there, higher low, confirming a higher high, and that could be enough because when then at least create that little bit of a pause that I wanted to see back at this level, and we're breaking, closing back above it. The preference would be the 30-minute, obviously, for 30-minute close bullish engulfing. That is by far the stronger confirmation. The sell's going to be difficult right now because you just don't really have the margin. So we'll see about the potential options for a buy. Gold is just chopping about. There is no real clean entries in my opinion. So just chill on gold. 5 minute looks alright. I don't trade it purely off the 5 minutes. So Chauncey, thank you for the follow, and Siab. Nick, do I have some kind of group? Does it require money to join? I've got a free Discord community, but to be honest, not many people are active in it. I always encourage people to chat away, help each other out, send charts, so on and so forth. But yeah, I've got a VIP and it's not expensive. I make it affordable so everyone can learn. I've got my course in there. There's all up over 100 educational videos in the VIP group right now. So, and I'm definitely adding to that. I've got some plans for that as well. May even add that crypto section, guys, because a few of you have been messaging me about it, about the crypto, the VIP guys. So 100k short opportunity? I don't think so. I mentioned it earlier, there is no blow off top to me, there's nothing to suggest that this is ready to reverse. It's in a massive uptrend and it's steadily creating high lows, high highs. So trend is your friend until the end, and right now there is nothing at all to suggest that's going to crash. Could make a healthy pullback towards that 90k region, and I think that's nothing disastrous at all. That would be a more than 10% pullback. Even anything above 87 and it's still very healthy in my opinion. Fabrizio, also on XRP. I mentioned it before. I think you're a bit late if you're not already in it. Still overall quite bullish. Yeah, for me, I'd be looking for a pullback, be not in it to around 190. This level of liquidity just here. It's still gonna be bullish at that point. Yeah, I think that's a pretty key level. If you missed it and you want to get involved, but I just can't justify it, to be honest. When I look at this, when it was down, you know, back at 40 cents not that long ago, 60 cents. If you're looking for a short, I'd probably, we got 30-minute being bearish. Possible shorts below 20, $2.14 roughly. Back down towards $1.90. I called that. I actually called that. Some of you might remember on YouTube. Did I not say when XRP was about 60 cents that things were starting to get a little bit out of hand for crypto? Everyone was going nuts with it. And I said, you watch. When people start to open up their old bloody, you know, Robinhood accounts and Binance, ByBit, whatever. What do you think they're first going to jump into when I see XRPs like 50, 60 cents? I think that's still cheap. They're going to jump all in basically on that. It's basically what would have happened. Happened to Cardano. I got a bit lucky because I had a small bag, so I quickly moved it onto an exchange and I sold it and changed it to USDT, and I'm now trading with that, and the account's going pretty well. It's up about 12% at the moment, so, but I'm just swinging it, to be honest. Shrift says all in the Discord. Yeah, all the confirmations and that type of thing, the catalysts, it's all in the Discord videos. I'll be back in 2 seconds, guys. Don't go nowhere. Alrighty guys, what have I come back to? GJ. Carlo. If only you had a mic, mate. Been a VIP for that. Alright, so GJ is moving. Unfortunately, there was no confirmation for me for the buy. It definitely is close too strong on the previous M30. I wonder if we've got potential limit orders here, because what I'm seeing is the 15 is now creating a bit of an impulse. We've created a first leg up, bit of a pullback, create that higher high. Could be an option for a limit order. It's one of the riskier entries, to be honest, guys. It'd be taking anticipation a new 15 will pull back, grab some more liquidity from the market before it heads back up, so it could pull back to this support. So therefore, realistic target for an entry would be the high of that bearish candle, or it flips, heads back up. It would have to pull back about 10 pips if it was to close at the current level. I mean, it's a small maybe entry if you're feeling like you want to take the risk on that, the punt on that. Not a stupid trade, it's a trade that makes perfect sense to me. I mean, gold is coming back down too, so interesting. What is the low on that candle? The high, sorry. 190.78. A little bit too far-fetched by the looks of it. Yeah, this thing's gone. Mr. Stretchy, good to you. Yeah, so that's the only thing I can potentially see right now, but this is closing a little bit higher than what I would like. But what you're basically looking at, if you are to look for this entry, is you don't want this candle to break the high of the previous prior to it. It has to just drop, tags you in, stop loss below the previous candle's low. And you're targeting basically the high of the candle again, the current candle. Now, if gold closes below, there could be options on gold though, so let's just keep a bit of an eye on that as well. That's something you could potentially be looking at. Not going to take in a flip because, as per earlier, I didn't trust it from here without any confirmation. But you're a bit late to the party, so I need to let it reset, and it's just breaking. So yeah, remove that order there. So next option could be if this does actually close back weak bearish without pushing to the upside prior to it, then the options potentially based off a break of the 15-minute pause on the following candle potentially. But the highest pushes up now. Yeah, it's too late. It's gone. All right, let's focus on gold. All good, guys. We still might get an option on gold now. Paul, my thoughts on UJ. Actually looks pretty good as far as entry points. I mean, you're tapping into some support here to the left. Yep, just form resistance just above the support. Boy, I was technically bullish. At least technically bearish. Counter probability is the upside though. Previous candle weekly is flipped back bullish. Not really tapped into anything of significance by the looks of it. 30-minute is, I'd argue, also bullish until it actually closes below support. So I think it looks good for potential buys. That would be the level I'd like to look to get involved above, around that 150 flat sort of level, psychological round number. And that's, I feel, a pretty nice looking option on UJ. Target 150.40. Bouncing off a strong support here to the left. Alright, so definitely focused on gold, guys. Not taking the impulse entry, come from above the support, come from consolidation. The stop loss is way too wide. And wait for the counters to close, and if it does close below, I'm going to look to see how I can get involved in a sell stop. Oh crap, I'm long. You're sitting in a long? Well, like I mentioned before, what was it, UJ? It is actually, I would prefer to buy it as well. But for me, I just wouldn't be in it just yet. So what's your plan? Where's your stop loss? How are you going about managing trades? Is it a swing trade? I assume it is if you're sitting in about a 50 pip drawdown. 50 pip drawdown. Robert, g'day to you. Skits 3D, g'day to you. Mr. Stretchy, g'day. Forex traders, welcome. Alright, so if this does close below, what I can then use for the stop loss is the 15-minute. Few reasons: it's a technical level, previous candle. We were to create lower high, lower low to that candle. There is not much of a need for us if we were to continue bearish to pull back up and break its high. And also it's back above that support. So that is where I would place the stop loss. But first things first, it needs to close below me to consider a sell on gold. Stop loss are in prop. Are you talking about you must be in a sell, you can't be in a long if you're in profit and you entered at 150, 150.5. I think you mean you're in a short, my friend. we were looking at GBPY also, but it was resistance to the left on M30. Oh, you got the margin though. Definitely had the room. Oh, all good, mate. All good. That's all right. As long as your stop loss is in profit, then you're fine. I'm just saying, it's potential level it could bounce off. It's at a level right now, and if it broke above that minor resistance at the support, then it could pull back towards your original entry. All right, 7.5 minutes remaining. Let's see if we can get a closure on gold below the support. YouTube, if you guys, if you could do me a favor and just hit the like button, would be greatly appreciated. EU's made its way up to that 540 region, and this is good because it's made a nice clean move now. So that means the move back down, if it did reject, is more probable. It's not going to be met by as much traffic on the way down. You've got some support at this level here, a little bit more support a little bit lower down, and then you're running into the actual swing point itself. So at least if it did reject here and you've gotten yourself from around this gray zone somewhere, you should have enough margin to secure some profit, at least by the time it hits this first potential level of support. Now, the other thing I would consider, if we don't close below, the trade you guys often see me take on the stream, and you guys probably know what I'm about to say, and I absolutely love it, is if this happens, where the new candle just pops straight down. I'm not getting FOMO. I'm not thinking, oh shit, it's gone, I'm stuffed. Was it 2 days ago? Absolute perler, very similar to this. Patiently waited. It dropped about 6-7 pips below the previous candle. Wait for it to pull back, create an upper wick. It does, and rejects around that zone high. I sell stop back below the lowest point of the entry candle. Into clean traffic to the left, it's a high probability entry. So that is also something I can potentially consider. Paul, yeah, would be great if some of you did hit like button. Tiger Lion, thank you for the follow, and Legend, thank you guys. Welcome everyone on TikTok. Streaming live on YouTube at the same time, and YouTube, they get the full screen. There's a few minor details that you guys can't see, but you still get the entry if I do look to take one. And currently I'm looking for potential gold sells, waiting for this count to close, and I'm fully aware in 4 minutes it could melt and I'm not going to be in it. That's absolutely fine. Definitely need new counts to pull back up. Want it to retest this zone. Create a significant upper wick, because then we can use that as a stop loss. You can mitigate your risk. You can have it initially above the 15, and as soon as it triggers in lower high, lower low, you can start adjusting your stop loss to just above the entry. So currently, if this was to be the lowest point of this current candle, and I was to get my signal in price action, I'd be looking at a potential entry 2643.65. That is just about a pip and a half or so below lowest point of this current candle on my broker. I suggest you guys do something similar. Account for spread though. IC markets, we have some really good spreads. If your spread is 1.5 pips, then you need to have a wider, give it more breathing room below that catalyst candle, if it is to be a catalyst. Right now we're popping back above the support. If it does that, then we may not even have a valid entry signal.
Just in the question.
Yep.
So would you also here consider the 50% of this bullish candle on the left side? No, I mean the zone. You have marked your zone there for sells and buys, correct?
Oh, okay, 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah, but essentially we're coming from consolidation. We're not trending, and it's technically against the structure as well.
Okay.
So I would prefer for the closure below, or price to drop, pull back, and then enter as a break zone low again.
So here to have a stronger catalyst at the end.
Yeah, in this situation.
Signal. Okay, understood.
Would much prefer it, to be honest. But I mean, at this rate, I don't know if we're going to get the option. Want it to close a bit stronger. Definitely needs to close below the bodies here. So this is better. This is what we want. This is definitely what we want. Alright, let's see. 15 seconds left, guys. Are we going to get the closure below? And this is good for the continuation sell as well. This nice strong closure. So get ready. Upper wick. That's not sufficient enough. Be really nice if it drops down towards the low, then creates the upper wick. So I've not set an order just yet. Want it to pull back, create a bit more of an upper wick, and then I'll trust it because it's not looking crash out on the 15 as well. We haven't quite closed below. 5 minute looks like it's in a bit of trouble at this current level. So if it flips again, then I think I'll be comfortable to take a sell below low. So close to flipping on my broker, but it keeps just rejecting. Once again, I really want to pull back up a little bit. There we go. This is better. All right, perfect. I'm going to set a sell stop just below the previous candle's low. And what I can do is I can then adjust the stop loss as soon as I'm triggered in to just above the entry candle, give it a little bit of breathing room. So I've got an entry set right now for 26.43.65. All right, stop loss. It's above the previous M15, a little bit above that. That's what I'm currently looking at, guys. Not in the trade just yet. Got clean stripe to the left. We've already created a low wick. Now pull back to create deeper upper wick. So if you were to continue bullish, seeing we've already created that low wick and potentially grabbed a little bit more liquidity from this range below, there would not be much of a need for us to pull back and break our own low, let alone break the previous candle's low. As soon as we do that, we've got clean traffic to the left. There's a good chance we could make the move down. We're popping back below this support as well, pretty much at the same time. So that's what this potential entry is based off. Diverse lifestyle gold. This is XAUUSD. Welcome to everyone on TikTok. Don't forget to give me a follow. Zarko, thank you. Chris as well. CP, well, I take CP at different intervals. I'm a scalper, so I generally start to secure anywhere after 10. Then my second CP is usually around 20, and just depends on how clean the range is. So we're moving into some pretty clean traffic, so I'd be targeting the support here at the opposite end around 26.37 region. That's about 65 pips roughly, 66 pips. Yeah, that would be the overall target. It appears to be struggling right now with the volume. Kind of dead in the water at the moment, not really moving at all. Did mention on the 5 minute, that was my concern. It does look like it is exhausting on the 5 minute. So what would be really nice if we have a strong bearish engulfing candle. That would be added confluence, and then hopefully get triggered in on the following candle. Lindo7, thank you for the follow. Welcome everyone on TikTok. So looking at potential gold sells at the moment. Tamil, thank you for the follow. And as more data prints, I need to reassess. So we'll see where the 15 closes. If it does close quite a strong bullish candle, then I remove the order. And I need to wait for more data to print. I would need to wait for another 15 minutes minimum to see whether the next candle closes. And if it closed bearish engulfing, it's probably the strongest signal I would get within price action to take an entry. Chris, thank you for that. Bros, appreciate the support. Thank you, mate. Really not much volume at the moment. Beats, what languages? Pretty much just Aussie. Obviously English. Do speak a fair bit of Thai. I understand more than I speak, and obviously I speak it with not an Asian accent. So, but for the most part, most understand when I do talk to the Thai, to the locals when I'm there, and even here I know some Thai people. Yeah, but from obviously English. That's about it. Slow market at the moment. Could it be just, is it just going to consolidate? I mean, it's been doing it all week. Look at that. And maybe due to what's to come. So obviously tomorrow it's a massive day with NFP. That will be the big mover off the market for this week. So maybe it's just going to consolidate until then. We've got some high impact news to come with unemployment claims half an hour into NY today. But again, it could just be a bit of a nothing burger in anticipation of what's to come tomorrow. This gold has just been, I mean, I've been trading really well this week in the range. I find I love trading the range, in all honesty. But there's just times where it's not tradable. The more data it prints, the more choppy it becomes within the range, and more difficult it is to find some clean areas to get involved in trades. So right now I've found a clean area, but it's just not, it doesn't have the volume right now. It's just not moving. So if this 15 closes as is, then I definitely need to remove the order and just wait. That's what I likely need to do. Beats don't get languages at school. We did up until year 10. You had to choose between Japanese and French. I chose Japanese. For the life of me, I cannot really remember. I just used to copy a mate of mine. That was it. Art and music? Sorry, mate. How about now? Is it a bit better? Roll BB. BB. Triple B. Same. How about now? Good. All right. Yeah, I'm still quite new to streaming on TikTok, so not sure how the audio settings all work on the TikTok studio setup. I'm just glad I'm not getting banned. I used to always do, so doing something right these days. Can't show my ByBit account. Joe, all good, mate. All good. Yeah, so gold at this rate, I'm gonna likely remove it unless it drops in the next 45 seconds and closes weak bullish. I'm gonna have to remove the order. Nothing on GJ. Yeah, it's just not ready yet, guys. I'm gonna remove the order. This candle's closing back too strong. Bullish candle back above support, so there is definitely no impulse entry at the moment. Impulse entries for me require the previous candle to have closed with strong volume in the direction you want to trade it, unless, for instance, you have a little weak pause on the 15, create another support below support. Then that is valid, but this is too strong of a closure because we'll close back above the support, so it could just end up moving back up. I don't yet have a catalyst to buy it. It's not bullish engulfing, so for the time being it means I just, again, sit, chill, reassess. I'm not going to buy it off that, no. Man, it's hot. The last potential option is the bearish engulfing M15. What that will do is close the hourly below the support as well, and that is an even stronger confluence to look for a sell. If that happens, that's a good signal to take the sell. If not, then it's just likely not going to be ready. And if it does melt, then off the back without that confirmation, then it is what it is, and that's all part of trading. So for me, that's what I want to see now. How are you doing? Good morning, mate. Welcome to you. Closure below, guys. That's what we want to see. Bearish engulfing, close in the alley below. That's what we're waiting for on the gold, if there is to be any trade. Not taking the impulse entry as per my rules. This is close to strong of a bullish candle. I'm just waiting for this hourly to close, this 15-minute, and then we'll see if there's options. This is the boring part of trading, isn't it, guys? We have to sit here and wait. Yosh, I think you might be on delay, mate. It was for TikTok anyway. The issue of the music being a bit loud, which is probably correct because I have no idea how it was coming through. But I had it turned quite down. I thought, but obviously not. It's all sorted now. Pretty cool. TikTok got their own streaming studio. YouTube don't. Gotta use a third-party streaming software to stream. All right, let's see. On a 6.5 minutes, are we gonna close below? Gold gonna make me hang around a little bit longer. Oh, you're applying, so it's the boring part. Yeah. Well, that's why I got the music in the background too. All right, gold melting. Still could get an entry. It's all good. We've got some clean traffic. Are we going to get potential limit order as well? Because what I'm seeing is greater high, high low, pull back, lower low. Could potentially have a limit order valid as well. It's the riskier of the entries. It all really depends on when his candle closes, to be honest. Let's quickly look at 30. 30 doesn't look great for a limit order. 30 looks better for a continuation, so as does the hourly. The hourly definitely doesn't look good for a limit order, in my opinion, or consolidation. Fact of the matter is, it could just melt now, which again, not at all. I don't get FOMO. I'm fully accepting of what it's doing now. I just didn't have my signal to sell it as it broke. If you did and you took it, fantastic. Well done. But for me at this stage, it looks like it may have made the move without me. We'll stick around, see where it closes. It's the hour closed below. Also wait for a wick. It goes up first. Yeah, definitely need the upper wick. The limit order still might be valid. I think it looks okay at 15. This is where I got caught last Wednesday. By far the safer option is the continuation sell. With the momentum, creating lower high, lower low. Where's candle closes? Yeah, I'm not all that keen if it closes like this. Definitely the upper wick, because that's where your stop loss will be. You're gonna have to trust the upper wick of the new candle. Where you think it will go, 34 or Christian? For me, yeah, the target would be around that 34 level support. But again, I secure it at different intervals on the way down. Always first target is that 10 plus. Alright, so option 1 is a limit order if it closed 8 pips below the lowest point of that bullish candle. The safer option is the continuation sell. But for that, we need the upper wick. So you could get triggered in if you wanted to take a limit order prior to it, but then you take in anticipation this zone is going to hold. We're not going to come back up into the consolidation. They're your options. Still get a chance. Beat, perhaps. Paul, no. not just yet. Pamela, thank you for the follow. Go text, sell or buy. I'm looking for a potential sell. So for me, it all depends on how this new candle opens up. Similar to what I mentioned before, I'd really like for it to drop, create a bit of a decent lower wick, perhaps come towards the low of that previous candle, very similar to what we took on Tuesday, and then let it pull back to create an upper wick. Then I could potentially sell it. The fact of the matter is, the way it's now rejecting and leaving this long wick, I wouldn't feel comfortable with the limit order. Don't feel it's a, well, not a bad closing yet. Option 1 is the limit order, if anyone is interested. What I want to see is a pullback now. So it can drop more, it can drop towards the low, it can actually break the low, but I'm not entering. Not entering until it pulls back to create a decent upper wick. Doesn't have one just now. But a tiny one, it's not sufficient enough. It's the first 30 seconds of the new hourly. We have not yet retested the zone that we have broken. You could argue on the 5 hours. I wanted to pull back to create more of an upper wick. You got stopped down, UJ? Okay, mate, cool. For AAA, 50 seconds. Alright, so what this is doing now by creating upper wick, this is giving me potential ways to manage the risk on the table if it did pull back and break the low. You'd be looking at about a 14, 15, 16 pip stop. The more it pulls back, obviously, the wider your stop loss. And that is, again, it's the most difficult way to manage a trade. But if we were to use the previous 30 or 15, we're looking at massive stop losses. So it's just not really me. I don't want to run in. Oh, look on gold. 45 pips isn't that bad. But if I'm going to start securing at 10, it doesn't really make much sense to have that wide of a stop loss. So limit order, if anyone is interested, is at the low of that bullish candle. Stop loss has to be back above. Take it at your own risk. There again, so this is good. We've retested that zone. Now if we reject, I think it's a good option to get involved in the sells, but the way it's pulling back just now, we could easily head back up into the range above. So that's why for me the limit order is quite risky in this situation. I'm from consolidation on the 15, the hourly, well, sort of 30 sorry, and the hourly. Now, if it pulls back too far, the same issue again, guys. Your stop loss is going to be way too wide. Already up to about 38 pips once you account for spread, so it's not looking fantastic to give us the sells upon continuation at this stage. Tommy, you're in, you took the limit order. All right. Yeah, that's the first option for me. It's just not quite what I wanted to see. Again, reason being is I got caught out on a similar entry last Wednesday, but it hadn't really been trending prior to it, and that's where I find the limit orders are best used when the markets are trending. Doesn't look like it's going to play ball for me. I mean, who knows? The buyers could be back on the table, but I can't stick around forever, guys. Yeah, full of buyers to look. The 15 engulfing play is, again, it's a valid entry, but the stop loss is just, that's the fact of the matter. Stop loss is going to be looking at about 40 plus pips, and that's if it doesn't continue further into the range above. Your target is about 20. Is it really worth it? You're starting to run out of space to the upside. In all honesty, I'd rather look for the sells, but at this rate, it doesn't look like it's quite ready. So what I would be looking for the sellers is for this candle to reject, and this candle on the 15 close back a weak bullish candle below this support. So having a wick into the range above, it's the upper wick, or it's only close like so. Then I would look for the sells below this candle's low. If at that point it would form a weak support below a previous level of support. You've rejected this resistance after tapping into it, so it's holding as resistance. You've got clean traffic to the left, so that's what I'd be looking for right now. Yeah, that is gold. I mean, GJ is at a pretty good level for potential sells, but again, you just need a signal in price action. For me, probably a little bit of a pause. You've got the pause just here. See, what I do now is just remove this zone. You invalidate it by pushing through it. I mean, that's not confirmed resistance just yet. We'll probably use that then as his own. I'll be looking for the potential sells below. Oh, rejecting. I'm really doing overtime today.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Abdul, what's this? Close weak bearish. To me, that's not weak enough. Yeah, to me, it's not weak enough. To me, probably would prefer if it closed about that 0.32. But plus, the fact of the matter is, you closed back below the support, so that's what put me off that. So I see what you mean, but yeah, it's just not strong enough. Again, sometimes it's a matter of a pip or two. But that for me has closed a little bit weaker. Because if you're looking at what I originally had marked in was this level, and it closed back below it. Sharif, not today, mate. No, not Thursdays. Gonna early start on Friday morning, so.
It sound right, boys. Sound right, boy.
Alright, so that's what you want. Closure below that point there. If you're in a limit order, you're probably running some profit at the moment. Be careful, I'd probably be break even. So limit order, you probably have about 10. You're at break even, Tommy. Nice one. Alright, so we could have a valid entry, guys. Now what I will look for, I'm just going to remove that what I had before. I'm going to place it now just below the current 15 low as your entry point. That is the counter's form support. So if you were to break this counter's low, which is 81 in IC market, so about 65 roughly, 2642, 65 is a potential entry point. Stop loss above the high. need an upper wick to form on the new candle, and then I set a sell stop. So it's still valid. This just suggests we grab some more liquidity from the upside, even if it closes back bearish. Tapped into above that support. This is a really nice closure, guys. Upper wick. Just a bit of an upper wick. Now I set the order. Alright, I've set the order. Let's say 2642.65. Stop loss currently above that previous candle's high, so it's quite a wide one, but there's ways to managing this. Again, you can start to mitigate risk once it's triggered in. I'd probably just drag stop loss to just below that zone. We've already tapped in and retested it. There is no need to keep pulling back to it if we were to continue bearish. So not in just yet, guys.
You will go in with your normal lot size, Justin?
For this, yeah.
Okay. It's a nice rejection.
Yeah, very nice rejection, but we don't need to keep pulling back up.
No.
And if it does, then I'm just not going to follow it. And it's just one of those ones where it's not to be for me today. So, all good. Iden Studio, thank you for the follow. Keeps falling back. Is it? Maybe it's not ready. 5 minute actually closed above the support, so perhaps we're not ready, guys. Hourly's flipped back bullish. Look at that mess. The 4 hour is just absolutely disastrous. That is ugly. Yeah, I don't like how it keeps falling back. I think I'm going to call it, guys. I'm not liking this continual pullback. I don't know if it's ready, to be honest. I'm not really feeling it. I've already been on for over 2.5 hours, so I'm going to quit for me for today. Tommy, break even, fair enough. Bitcoin daily profits. Message key Alexis if you're interested, not financial advice. Very careful, guys. Be very careful. Sure you guys aren't daft enough to do so. Yeah, so look, gold sales still valid. If you are interested, just keep an eye on that. The sales below. I might keep a bit of an eye on it, but I'm gonna go chill. Getting late. The other thing to look for is a weak 30-minute closure. Exact same thing applies. If the 30 closes weak bullish, it's based off that. That'd be a nice strong confirmation. GJ, need a bit of this. Form support just here, weak support, then perhaps you can look to sell below that 15 low, which will be a 30-minute candle rejection as well at the resistance. That is probably what you'd be looking at potentially now on GJ, and that is pretty much it, guys. So yeah, thank you for the support. I'm gonna get moving, guys. It's been a while, so take care, have a good one. Probably will I see you tomorrow? Maybe, not too sure.
Justin?
Yeah, mate.
Question. Do a New York session today?
No, not today, man. Not Thursdays.
Okay, man. Then enjoy your evening.
You too, mate. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Guys, TikTok, YouTube, appreciate you guys. See you tomorrow. Take care, guys. For now.